Hi everybody, I'm Sue Ellen Clayton. Welcome to my channel where we'll be learning the tarot deck one card at a time. In today's video, you will meet the tarot deck, which is the first in my series about tarot basics. You'll learn how the tarot deck is structured. You'll get a quick introduction to all of the cards and see how they fit into the deck. By the end of this video, you'll be familiar with the entire tarot deck. I'll be using the Radiant Rider-Waite Tarot deck in this video. So let's get started. Let me warn you that learning tarot can be overwhelming and confusing. Don't worry if you don't catch on all at once. You didn't learn how to play the piano or figure skate in an afternoon, and you'll find that this is also the case with tarot. It's one of those things that you just have to dive into, except that you may have to watch this video a few times and know that it will make much more sense once you get started working with the cards. So let's get started. The tarot deck is made up of two groups of cards called the Major Arcana and the Minor Arcana. Arcana means mysteries or secrets. The Major Arcana means big secrets and is all about the big life-changing events in our lives. That might be falling in love with your partner. The Minor Arcana means little secrets, and it's about the smaller day-to-day events in our lives. So that might be about fighting with your partner about who takes out the trash. The tarot cards are very practical. The tarot card deck has 78 cards. These are the Major Arcana, which has 22 cards, and the Minor Arcana, which has 56 cards. So far, so good, right? Let's start with the Major Arcana. As I said, these are about the big events in your life. These are the cards that you likely think about when you think of a tarot deck. They include the scary cards, such as Death, which is number 13, or the Devil, which is number 15. It also includes some angels, such as number 14, which is Temperance, and a few weird characters, such as the Fool, which is in the first card. We're going to talk about all 22 cards briefly in a few moments. For now, all you need to remember is that the Major Arcana refers to the really big events in your life. The next part is the Minor Arcana, which has 56 cards. These cards are about the day-to-day events in our lives. The Minor Arcana cards are laid out in a similar fashion to playing cards. There are 4 suits. Each suit has cards that are numbered 1, called an ace, through 10. And there are also 4 people cards that are called court cards. So let's dive a bit more into the Minor Arcana. The 4 suits are wands, swords, cups, and pentacles, which means coins. You'll find a link to a detailed video about the suits called Meet the Suits in the comments below. Each suit starts with an ace and goes through 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Once we reach 10, we move on to the 4 court cards. These are called court cards because they are the people who would live in a royal court. These are the page, knight, queen, and king. So let's summarize. The tarot deck has 78 cards that are broken down into the Major Arcana and the Minor Arcana. The Major Arcana has 22 cards and represents the big secrets or mysteries in our lives. Here's an image of the entire Major Arcana. This starts with the Fool, which is card number 0, and ends up with the World, which is card number 21. We'll go through each card individually in a moment. The Minor Arcana has 56 cards. This is made up of 4 suits called wands, swords, cups, and pentacles. Each suit has 14 cards made up of 10 numbered cards, ace through 10, and 4 court cards, the page, knight, queen, and king. Here's a picture of the entire suit of wands. I'm going to go through each suit quickly, so please pause the video if you want a good look. Here's a picture of the entire suit of swords. Here's a picture of the entire suit of cups. And here's a picture of the entire suit of pentacles. Now that you've had an overview, in the next part of the video, I am going to show you pictures of each card. I'm going to give you a short description of what each card means. If you're a beginner, try not to get overwhelmed. I didn't figure this out the first time, and to be honest, I'm still figuring it out. It's not a race, and there's no quiz at the end. We'll start with the Major Arcana and then move on to the Minor Arcana. So grab your beverage of choice and perhaps a notebook, and let's get started. Here's an overview of the Major Arcana. As you can see, there are 22 cards. They begin at number 0, which is the Fool, and go on to number 21, which is the World. This is often called the Fool's Journey. We start out with the Fool in the first position. He is kind of a naive, optimistic fellow. He travels through all kinds of adventures and learns lessons along the way. At the end, he reaches card number 21, which is the World, and you can see him dancing his way through a wreath that is shaped like his number, which is 0. So let's look at each card in the Major Arcana in order. I'll be zipping through these, so you're not here for hours, so please pause if you want to stop and ponder each card. Number 0 is the Fool. The Fool is about new beginnings, fresh starts, taking risks, and leaving the past behind, and perhaps taking a literal journey such as a road trip. Number 1 is the Magician. The Magician is about power, creativity, determination, magic, and taking action. Number 2 is the High Priestess. She is based on the female version of the Pope. She represents the unconscious mind and listening to your quiet inner voice. Number 3 is the Empress. She symbolizes fertility, pregnancy, marriage, motherhood, feminine power, and the joy of experiencing your senses and being in nature. Number 4 is the Emperor. He is a good leader who is worthy of respect. This card is about law and order, masculinity, and authority. Number 5 is the Hierophant. The Hierophant is God's representative on earth. The Hierophant is all about following the rules, rituals, and doctrines of traditional religion. Number 6 is the Lovers. This card is about important choices that will impact your entire life, such as your choice of a partner. It can also represent business partnerships and other relationships. Number 7 is the Chariot. This is a card about honoring your instincts, taking control of your will, and unifying many parts of your life in order to reach a goal. Number 8 is Strength. Strength tells us that we have what we need in order to succeed. It is about using love, self-control, and inner strength to conquer any obstacles. Number 9 is the Hermit card. The Hermit demonstrates that we have all the answers within us, but it takes solitude and going inward to find them. Number 10 is the Wheel of Fortune. This represents the turning points in life. Whether your luck is good or bad, this card is about change and knowing that this too will pass. Number 11 is the Justice card. It is all about balance, truth, and fairness. Number 12 is the Hanged Man. He indicates that you are in a difficult situation or need to view your situation from a different perspective. Number 13 is the Death card. Generally, the Death card signifies swift change, transformation, or rebirth. It does not generally mean that you are going to die, but symbolizes things in your life that need to end, such as perhaps a relationship or an addiction. Number 14 is Temperance. Temperance is a card about blending opposites and finding the middle, moderate way. Number 15 is the Devil card. This is about giving your power away to attitudes and behaviors that are destroying you. Number 16 is the Tower. The Tower card is about shocking, unexpected changes that create upheaval in your life. Number 17 is the Star. The Star card represents hope, strength, and being able to bring your dreams into reality. Number 18 is the moon. The moon means that things are not always as they seem. It also represents natural cycles in the world, such as tides, and in our bodies, such as menstrual cycles. Number 19 is the sun. The sun shows us that the fool has made it through his past obstacles and arrived filled with joy. This card represents success and finding our purpose in life, unencumbered by the problems of the past. Number 20 is the Judgment card. Judgment tells us that something, like the blowing of a trumpet, has happened in your life that has reawakened you. Basically, this card represents a wake-up call. Number 21 is the World. This card marks the end of the Fool's journey. The World is about overcoming obstacles and signifies that you have reached an important destination in your life. Now it's time to become the Fool again and start a new journey towards new goals. So that's it with the Major Arcana. I've put the image of the 22 cards up on the video, and hopefully it makes a little more sense to you now. We've moved through the 22 cards that contain all of life's big lessons. So now let's circle back to the Minor Arcana. The Minor Arcana has 56 cards. They are made up of 4 suits called Wands, Swords, Cups, and Pentacles. Each suit has 14 cards made up of 10 numbered cards, Ace through 10, and 4 court cards, the Page, Knight, Queen, and King. The way this will work is that I'll show you 4 cards at once, so all the aces will be together and we'll work our way through to the kings. I've linked to videos that have much more detail on each card in the comment section. I want to make one comment first. The 10s actually contain 3 groups of 3, Ace through 3, 4 through 6, and 7 through 9. We'll talk about the 10s at the end. 3 is a very significant number in tarot because it's based on the 3 aspects of the Christian God, the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Each group of 3s is like its own mini chapter with a beginning, middle, and end. So let's get started. Aces are about new beginnings and the potential that exists when you start something new. This doesn't guarantee success as there is still a lot of hard work required. 2s are about nurturing the potential of the aces to create balance, choose between 2 options, or create a partnership. 3 is a number about reaching the first stage of completion. The different suits definitely show how difficult it is to embark on this journey of completion. We see joy in the 3 of Cups and suffering in the 3 of Swords. 4s represent that you are growing by moving forward, the creation of a solid foundation, and a sense of stability. It can be a place to rest and recover after moving through the first 3 cards. After the stability of the 4s, the 5s bring us back to an unstable place. Life can't be calm and stable forever, right? This card is about conflict, tension, challenges, uncertainty, and loss. Our comfort zone has been disrupted and change is occurring. The 6s represent the end to the second group of 3, so we're now at a stage of harmony, healing, and completion. We're riding on the energy created during the conflict in the 5s and are now in a place of expansion, growth, and forward movement. Look at the 6 of Wands. In the 5 of Wands, people were fighting with no real pattern. Now the fighters are lined up in an orderly fashion and watching a parade. We're back to harmony. So number 7. If you've been paying attention, we've completed 2 cycles of 3s. Now we have some level of a new beginning. This card is all about making tough choices and dealing with challenges. Unlike in previous cards, you're not relying on the help of other people. It's all up to you. You make the choices and deal with the consequences of your choice. Number 8. This card is about achievement, growth, and continuing to make progress. We are now nearing the end, but are not quite there. It's time to persevere as there are still some challenges to overcome so you can move forward towards your highest good. Number 9. This is the end of the 3rd cycle of 3. It is the culmination of your experience. This card is about completion, endings, and inner strength. Depending on the suit, the end of your journey can result in material comforts, such as with the Pentacles, or having a pretty rough time of it, as in the Nine of Swords. Number 10. This is kind of like the epilogue after completing the previous 3 cycles. It's about concluding your experience. It's an opportunity to reflect on your journey and get ready for the next stage in your life. Now we're going to talk about the court cards. These are the Page, Knight, Queen, and King. Let's start with the Pages. Pages were young boys whose job was to serve royalty. They were in training to become knights. This stage of their training took about 7 years. They did things like running messages, cleaning weapons, and starting to learn about combat. Pages were young, innocent, and inexperienced. They are learning a trade, but they are also still kids, so they're learning to control themselves. In tarot, they can represent children or your childlike, innocent, and possibly naive qualities. Note that they are all standing, as if they are waiting to be told what to do or trying to figure out what to do next. Knights. In medieval times, knights were considered to be the elite soldiers. When they weren't conquering other kingdoms, they basically served as law enforcement officers. They are one step up from pages and basically the teenager 20-year-olds of the deck. Think about how teen boys act. Generally lots of energy, ready for adventure, but maybe not completely thinking through their actions. They can be super energetic, but also a bit immature or unbalanced. They are learning to be responsible and mature. They are all mounted on horses, which demonstrates travel, either literally going places or figuratively trying to decide where they want to go next in life. The suit indicates how swiftly they are moving. The Queen represents a mature female. Queens were second in charge, and their job was to support the king. They had a lot of power, but it was softer and in a more supportive role, although they still had a lot of responsibility. Note that the queens are all sitting on their thrones. And finally, we reach the kings. The king represents a powerful, mature male. The king had the overall responsibility for his kingdom by overseeing the military, making laws, and collecting taxes. He also made sure that the laws were followed and that the people were well cared for. He had a lot of responsibility. He is very busy, so he gets straight to the point. He also tends to be very logical and makes decisions with his head, not his heart. Note that the kings are all sitting on thrones, just like their counterparts, the queens. So let me summarize. The tarot deck has 78 cards. This is made up of the Major Arcana with 22 cards and the Minor Arcana with 56 cards. The 22 cards in the Major Arcana are also known as the Fool's Journey and show what happens as he moves from a naive youngster to the successful completion of his travels. The Minor Arcana has 56 cards. These are made up of 4 suits, which are Wands, Swords, Cups, and Pentacles. Each suit has 14 cards, an ace through 10, followed by the 4 court cards, which are Kings, Queens, Knights, and Pages. There's a lot of resources on my channel, so pick out videos on individual cards for more information. Thanks for watching and good luck on your tarot journey.